With this lecture, embodied virtual reality narrative exploring the boundaries of UX and human connection, Daniel will explore how virtual reality can become a bridge to deeper human connection. He will present some of his work and project, especially, for example, the machine to be another, developed with BeAnotherLab, which use body ownership illusion to foster empathy. Or he will go through another project that is investigating the dance and virtual reality and how they can merge to and be combined to reimagine the body as a universal language. He will address also some topic related to mental health through social support system. In this presentation, Daniel will share how creativity and humility can redefine the boundary of user experience, transforming technology into a medium to inhabit the lives and the emotion of others. I would like just to read some words about your bio. So Daniel Gonzalez Franco is an interdisciplinary researcher, artist, and entrepreneur. His special interest is in social innovation, developing immersive experience toward a more empathic society. Franco is one of the founders of the collective BeAnotherLab. Their work has been awarded with the European Social Innovation Competition Award, the Laval Virtual Award, and also twice at Ars Electronica with honorary mention also, and NICE award. As I thought, he developed a lot of projects connecting mostly the topic of empathy with virtual reality to broaden our reality. So thank you.
Thank you. It's really nice to be here. Always I'm a little bit confused when you do when someone does an introduction about you, because sometimes there is many hats that you put in your life and many ways that you can say not enough or maybe different things that what you're really feeling for. So it's just a note for every one of you that once when I introduce to someone, I used to ask them, what will you think that is your magic? No, you know that often you ask people like, what do you do for a living? What is your job? What is what you do? No, where do you come from? And sometimes there is this beautiful icebreaker that is, what would you think that is your magic? No, this magic, this profound, deep, let's say, almost satirical feeling about yourself. And sometimes it puts you out of your comfort zone. So it's a question that I leave for all of you. What would you think that is your magic within yourselves? And what is this little thing that makes you like unique and so on? So if you ask me, I think my magic is about exploring. So I'm an explorer of magics. So aside from Malaysia told you, I will identify with this. And then you will see that during my work, mostly what I have been doing is just that. It's just exploration and playing around. And so yeah, very happy to be here. I will try to make this as easy and fun as possible. And then I will probably show you a lot of videos, because in my line of work, it's sometimes difficult to explain with words actually what is the things that we do. So we're going to be through a lot of videos. Hopefully that will be easygoing. I know that you have been coming from a long journey of nice, amazing people telling you beautiful things. So yeah, I'm going to share my screen now, and I will start like introducing the main work of BeAnotherLab. And then I will go through different processes, as Alessia told you about, like, regarding different areas, mostly about like crazy stuff and having fun with music and so on. So let me see. Okay. Can you see? Let me. Okay. Okay. You're okay. Okay.
No, no,
Let-
no, no. If you are sharing, no,
no, it's not sharing.
no.
Okay. Every participant. ¿Quién pone?
You
Puedo
should be
proteger
able.
cuando otro está convirtiendo. Uh, okay. But now it's sharing.
No.
Wait, it's not sharing yet. Okay. Okay.
Let's,
Those participants. Okay. Uh, ¿Quién puede compartir? Será anfitrión.
you should be able to share like in the top, not in the top, in the below. There is like a share button.
Yeah, it's good. I'm just seeing if I share the whole screen. Okay.
Ah, yes, there you have to choose the option.
Okay. Can you see?
Yeah, now yes.
Okay. Okay. Sorry for that. Yes, I guess I'm going to tell you about like some concepts that I have been going through this work about mainly uh, putting yourself in someone else's shoes. A lot of it has to be with telepresence. Let me introduce first the collective. I'm part of a collective that is called BeAnotherLab, and we are this interdisciplinary, sometimes antidisciplinary collective that we are like from our parts of the world, and this started back in 2012. And then we, like, through different like coincidences, let's say, I was able to meet little by little beautiful people. That's why we have this picture. It's a blend of all of us. That's also talking about like this shared identity. So in BeAnotherLab, our main, let's say, point of encounter was at the beginning, like, okay, we come from different backgrounds. Most of us were from South America, and often in our lives we got to, as a kids, to get to see, as you can imagine, sometimes difficult situations, and we were lucky enough to have your family is telling you, okay, in order to understand this, try to imagine, try to put yourself in someone else's shoes. And probably a lot of you have been experiencing a lot of things in life that makes you wonder about this concept. Also, uh, we, we gather ourselves and say, okay, how will be the world if you can really put yourself in someone else's shoes? So that's why your main primary goal at the beginning, exploration, let's say, and then we decide, okay, let's work around this relationship between identity and empathy. And then, of course, we start to understand what will be these physical and these mind blocks and these physical walls and mind walls that block us from understanding the other. So there is, when you talk about empathy, there is this interconnected phenomena. So, for instance, you have a vicarious pain. Let me see. Okay, so I will show you because it's. So you have like, sorry, I will be like here. You have the vicarious pain, and when you're observing the pain of others, you can feel, let's say, the pain while observing. You have perspective taking. That is this cognitive process of imagining and understanding, like a mental exercise, no? Like when you put on purpose on the situation of imagining what the other is going through. No? Then you have empathy. And then we talk about empathy a lot sometimes, but we don't often talk about other phenomena. But empathy is this response of feeling, no, the other, while knowing that this emotion comes actually from the other. And then I guess very important is compassion, no? Is the feeling for and this empathic concern that triggers um this action, no? Going out of your comfort zone and actually going through action. We will come back to the presentation, let's say, in 1 second. Okay, so yeah, in science, we started to see, okay, what happened in science. So in science, we started to see that, for instance, there is a blockage of response of the pain that is related is if you know each other, if you have implicit racial bias, for instance, you can have this block response to others. We started to see on other experiments. I'm going to try to be faster on this because I have to show you a lot of other projects, but more or less the idea is that we decided to hack these neuropsychology experiments in which we see, okay, what they are doing. They were just working on this amazing body ownership illusion on this, what is called embodiment. And basically what you see is that this effect that you can, let's say, trick your brain to make you think that you have a different body, let's say, as long as you have this synchronized visual and tactile input, no, multisensory input. And that's when we say, okay, let's do it ourselves. Let's go to hack this. We don't have this fancy equipment. We don't have these fancy laboratories. Let's try to merge all of this energy that we have and try to do this project. You know, by the people, for the people. You know, like very, let's say, in a very humble approach, very simple approach, also very practical for us because we didn't have the means. And as you see, this is the picture of Felipe, Felipe from Brazil, Marte Ruel from Mexico, and me. That were at the start of this, and that it was even before this virtual reality headsets and technology that you see today. I was there. I was in the process of actually like building in Kickstarter, doing these proposals with the Oculus and so on. So we have to deal with another type of equipment, little things that we find around. A lot of cables, a lot of duct tape. So I'm going to put a little video that will introduce the project, and then we'll continue from there. So this is the machine to be another. Is the project that we create at the beginning in order to create this tool to promote empathy, to have the idea of creating this illusion to put you in the shoes of someone else. No, it's a system that makes you like kind of this approach about what the world will be like if you can actually put yourself in someone else's skin. So working on that, we decided to do this.
The Machine to Be Another is a long-term research project combining cognitive science, virtual reality, and personal performances to create in users the perceptual illusion of being in the body of another. BeAnotherLab created this long-term project in seeking ways to better understand ourselves through understanding the other.
It came attack to our village. It destroyed our villages. Even my father is killed at the same time. We escaped from Darfur. When we get the child, UN only support the children and women. Men is not supporting at all. I stayed in Tel Aviv 6 years. Until you are not allowed to refugee, you must to go back to Sudan. If you don't want to go back to Sudan, go to jail, you stay there.
An open book of embodied narratives, the installation allows users to see themselves behind the eyes of a human being, rather than a virtual avatar. To perceive the other's body as their own, to move and interact within the space as the other does, to hear the other's voice and thoughts in response to their own actions.
if I could get this job, I wouldn't feel like the mice in the walls in my apartment were people I couldn't save anymore. America is drowning in the Rubicon, the lies it's created. I will not forgive you. And we don't say Iraq, and we don't say Afghanistan, and we just say we were over there. We don't have many names for the enemy. I guess the enemy then is just myself.
More than an installation, the Machine to Be Another is a system and open platform using embodied narratives, engaging with a community of researchers and creators. Cognitive science experiments have shown that embodied systems can be a powerful tool to reduce implicit racial bias, overcome phobias, and relieve pain. Can you imagine what could be done with embodied storytelling in future years?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so this is the system. Basically, I'm going to try to explain very, very quickly for those of you that are interested in how does it works. So we have this. I guess you get the idea in the sense that there is two persons that you can swap perspectives with a camera. But then we have these different setups in which, for instance, one performer will follow the movements of the user, and then the user is actively participating, so the performer just follows, but the user is hearing the story. In this case of Norma Disig, that is part of the collective. And basically you have this illusion that you are controlling your body. She has a camera in her chest that more or less mimics the point of view. We have the body swap, that is two-person swapping body. So we kind of mirror the movement, we mimic the movements. We have often two facilitators that actually help these people to have this multisensory haptic feedbacks. We touch your hands, we hug, we touch your knees, we give you the hand, we give you some objects. And in that sense, you, as long as it's correspondent and it's in synchronicity, what the camera is capturing is that you're capturing the point of view of the other. And then so you have like this illusion that the hand that you're seeing is yours. And then when you feel the ball, or you feel the hand, or you feel the object, you will see this other hand, but you're feeling at the same time. This is very well known as the rubber hand illusion. Maybe you see these videos around in which they put you a rubber hand and they trick you, make you think it's yours. So as I told you, this is the like swap. It's very simple in the setting. But then you have this component that I will explain you just now, very soon, that what happens with the context. Now what happens when you have these people that are helping you having the experience, it's like people caring about you, and this caring, this context is what drives me the most in the following years, and I will explain you why. But I guess just to show you a little bit this perspective, then we evolve in this project that is the library of ourselves. That is what we call hyperlocal storytelling. And basically what we do is that we work with different communities. Okay, so with this project, we have the opportunity to travel to more than 30 countries, helping people to putting yourselves in the shoes of someone else, having these dialogues about the possibilities of this embodied storytelling and these embodied narratives. And then we started to work in this archive that actually is kind of a co-creation in which of course the persons are basically the directors and the producers or the co-producers of these experiences, because it's their lives. So it's a way of engaging with different kind of stories. But then the difference here is that you put actually yourself in this story. So it's a combination of like documentary filmmaking and this VR setting. I would like to show you a little bit. Maybe I will not put the entire video, but I will put a little bit of the idea so you can.
We live in a world surrounded by walls, physical, political, subjective, intergroup walls. But what if we could build a door that allowed us to travel through these walls? A machine that could let us see through the eyes of the others, no matter who or where they are. That would let us feel in their shoes, moving and touching with their hands and bodies as we listen to their perspectives. We'd like to introduce the Library of Ourselves, a virtual reality station based on the Machine to Be Another that offers participants an archive of VR films recorded in first person and experienced through eyes, ears, and body. Designed as an autonomous tool that can be installed in cultural, social, and educational environments, the Library of Ourselves helps participants know more about the life of migrants from wars, climate change, or extreme poverty seeking for asylum, of communities socially vulnerable, of local Europeans facing new inhabitants, of common citizens facing everyday life, and many other stories. By combining cognitive science protocols with VR and documentary filmmaking techniques, these films can be experienced by pairs of participants who alternate between the role of user and guide, and who, together, can engage into a deeper reflection about the experiences. Each station also allows users to experience the body swap, in which two users swap bodies in real time. After every experience of the Library of Ourselves, participants can also take part in a scientific data collection, answering questions about their impressions and beliefs. This information will be used to analyze and improve the efficiency of the system in promoting empathy-related behaviors. We plan for the Library of Ourselves to be implemented in local institutions in order to open access to this technology to a general audience. The aim is to be a tool for a more compassionate society in which individuals understand themselves as part of a broader humanity.
Okay, please, if you have any questions, let me know, because this is many things happening. I will just show you a little bit how it looks when you are like basically like replaying, let's say, one of these experiences. Usually, well, you have the facilitator that explains you what is going to happen. You have some props. You have some props, and then you have like a small setup, like emulating the room. And then basically one of the assistants, the facilitators, they have smells, they have like perfumes, they have different things that will help you recreate the environment. And then you have some pair of headphones that will guide you to some instructions like, okay, we are going to touch the shoulder of the person in 3, 2, 1. Now we are going to caress the hand, we're going to do this or that. And basically it's this kind of like, say, theatrical experience for both of participants, because both of you got affected. As a facilitator, you have to really put your magic, no? You have to really put your energy into it in order to actually to give. It's like when you give a massage to someone, it's like you try to do your best for the other to help to have a really great and calming and beautiful experience, no? Let me just, I'm going to put just a little bit about this, because this is actually like a, let's say, like a proper or like very accurate implementation of the project, in which we work with these communities in the favelas of city of God in Rio de Janeiro. and then it was this situation about police violence. So we worked with the family previously. We recorded content with them. Then they showed the content. That it was like a book fair, and people came to, so they do the body swapping with the families. They also embodied the narratives of the families. So it was a beautiful experience.
Viver sem o Rafael hoje é uma dor tão imensurável.
É você se sentir ali como se fosse aquela pessoa naquele momento. Você está com aquele sentimento, a respiração, a fadiga, o coração palpitando e aquela tristeza também que você dá.
For us was actually a very touching experience, because there was actually this sad story about these families that lost their kids due to police violence, and stories like this little kid, like 4 years old, and they got a bullet from the war, let's say, and then in the reports of the police, he was saying that that he was attacking, that they were defending themselves because this kid was violent. So very difficult situations, but actually very interesting implementation. I'm going to skip this a little bit. You can always access these videos in the BeAnotherLab account in Vimeo. So in case, if you have any questions, please let me know. I just wanted to remark what back in 2015, what happened. We were just about, this is just an anecdote about, like, we were just about to drop the project and we couldn't handle anymore. We didn't have any resources. So often and almost always we have been self-funded so far. So it's not an easy journey. But in 2015, we got these 3.5 million players with this gender swap experiment. And it was a techno-feminist gender. And then basically we got this like huge viral thing that we didn't know what was happening. And at some point we started to get invited to different cultural associations and film festivals. And then we were able to continue the project. So I forgot to tell you a little bit of this story at the beginning. So you're very welcome to see this video that is quite beautiful. And I'm going to run a little bit on some other stuff. I'm going to continue. But just to mention that we have been doing these collaborations. So if you have an idea, if it doesn't mind where do you come from, as you want to help produce the content, you want to share the story, you know someone to share the story. So that's the way we do. We don't have this kind of plan to do anything. I mean, it's just organic. We just meet people, then we have these different experiences. For instance, this was a reenactment of acts in a peace hack camp after the peace process in Colombia, in which these guys that they were not actors or filmmakers, they decided to recreate a story about conflict, but there were actually things that happened to them. No, it was ex-paramilitaries, ex-guerrilla, people that really got affected by violence, and they come to engage with these tools to promote education, and change. Then so we have been working with different kind of stories all around the world. We are based in Barcelona. So at the beginning also we do these crazy experiments, beautiful experiments with this, for instance, this dance group called the La Troca with functional diversity, and exploring their ideas that they wanted to see themselves dancing in different points of view and so on. Okay, I'm going to continue a little bit. I think you have understood more or less this idea where we started to explore this based on neuroscientific experiments about reducing implicit racial bias, about putting yourselves, about embodiment, about body ownership illusion. But what I wanted to tell you here is, I think what it drives us the most, what you can see here is just a couple, no, that is just swapping bodies and they're having this experience, no, but actually is something beyond. Actually, what sometimes we don't think too much, but we also did it. I mean, we have, of course, this reflection is what happened with the rest. You know, what happened with this magic that is around? What is the context of things? What happened? What is this mystery? And let's say having these experiences also. It's kind of an advice, no, in the sense of you always wonder about the rituals and what is the experience that you feel when something is happening, you want to discover the mystery about the rituals as well. When you do these experiences, it's like you go into a swimming pool, no? You have this, you go to your locker, you take your backpack, your clothes, on the shower, then at some point you put the swimsuit, and at some point after all this ritual, you are in this another universe. And I guess often we tend to miss this beautiful preparation to this on other realities, no? So I started to wonder about this commonality VR, about these experiences that actually bonded us somehow, or that what were these processes that you can actually engage to create this synergy of what is the real, the human, the touch, the bonding with others. So now I'm going to jump a little bit to another project that wait a second. Okay, so after the Library of Ourselves, we did this social virtual reality station. And it's actually a station when you go with someone, when you go with your friend, as you saw in the Library of Ourselves, it's for one facilitator. So in these stations, they say this is the most recent thing that we did with BeAnotherLab, is we create this, let's say, automatic stations in which you can go with someone, with your friend, with your family, and then you have some instructions, you can play it back, and then you can access this library of stories in which first you do the experience, you facilitate the experience for your friend, and then vice versa, the friend can help you do your experience. For your time. Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit about another experience about when I was in this exploration, about seeing through the eyes of the other, what could be this approach on technology. And at some point I was like, okay, what way you can actually be in different places at the same time and actually try to do good. So I basically created this project that was more like an experiment, and it's called Omnipresence, and I will explain.
What if you could be teleported to a beautiful and amazing city while experiencing the kindness of the world? Meet Omnipresence, the world's first social innovation telepresence experience. An online system where you can take the decisions to guide and control the actions of a real human avatar located anywhere in the world. What he sees.
So, as you see, it's this kind of a video game somehow, and the idea here is that I wanted to create this. You don't see actually in this video. I didn't talk too much about it, but it was kind of the main thing. Basically, it's this real-time crowdfunding system in which you can actually, as an spectator, you can, or as an user, you can like define like what is a good action towards the community. So people are around the world, if you are like many users in the platform, as most of this, more than 50% of users that say, okay, we agree, this is a good action, then you can put this money. And then it was also a reflection about these charity processes, no? So you can put this money, and once the avatar has the money, he will actually go and let's say buy these shoes for these kids that need shoes. And then you can actually pick the color, and then you have like this emotional and direct connection with your intention of doing good. So that was a proposal, but I just wanted to point this because what was interesting in the experiments is that sometimes the avatars, when I asked them, like, okay, but what did you feel, no, being controlled, because you are kind of guided, and then you can suggest actions and the avatar will basically try to do them. It's like, oh, I feel so liberated. I feel freedom. I feel free. I didn't have responsibility of my actions. So it was kind of funny, like how technology can help us like achieve this extra mind states that you never think that you were going to have. So in this case, that was precious to have this idea, like, okay, you don't have responsibility, but you do. You don't. But they suddenly, if you, I tell the avatar, okay, you can sing on the street, or can you do this thing or another? Wait, I can move this. Oh yes, I mentioned. Yeah, so it was interesting because it's okay, technology can make us like approach like some different behaviors, and then we can do it through fun, we can do it through joyfulness, we can do it so that's why I ended up in the next experiment. Like I will call it everything experiments. Everything is okay. Can you everything good? Yeah. Can you hear me? Everything good? If you have questions, let me know. Okay. So I wanted to show you at some point I partnered with Caitlin. Caitlin Smooth. She's a psychologist, sexologist, and sex tech expert from France. And basically, we team up at some point and say, okay, these things that you're doing about putting yourself in someone else's shoes, this embodiment, why can't you, maybe can we do something actually to engage creativity and imagination in the sexual life in couples? And then it's part of my job. She told me, I say, okay, let's talk about tech, about this, about how, of course, disrupting all the taboos, because this is in the world of wellness and health and sex wellness. So we started to create this very beautiful adventure that I wanted to show you as an example of how we started with this embodied narratives and empathy approach, and then how eventually we started to expand to different realms. Like, for instance, this application that is a game, but actually is about education, and then how we pivot to dance. So I'm going to put you just a little bit, because I'm going to show you just the dance project after this. Yeah, I can see some funny reactions.
Pour commencer.
C'est possible.
Sinon, on va créer des tonnes et des tonnes.
So real. That was fun. Oh my god. Yeah. Like this, yeah. Too sweet.
I think it's very beautifully done. It's a way of bringing poetry into kind of 3D.
Beautiful. It's beautiful, it's amazing, it's playful. It takes the serious topic and makes it something that is enjoyable again after all these years of seriousness society has put on.
Like nowhere. It takes you on another level. You know, it's just so fun.
The need of safety, security, and the need of exploration, trying to build the best erotic game for couples.
I need to get my wife on it ASAP. Yes, it's beautiful.
C'est trop bien. On dirait que c'est pour le bon. Vraiment. J'avais quand même envie de la toucher.
Yeah, so this was a wild ride, beautiful, nice experience. But it's difficult, as you can imagine. This the industry of sex wellness is I wanted to mention because it's difficult, no? With even if you try to do this nice intention, it's a difficult growing industry. But unfortunately, we have to leave the project, so now it's actually a little bit paused. But yeah, that led us, okay, what else? What else we can do? What else we can do? What crazy things we can do? And then we have this opportunity to talk with these people in France, this French Space Studies Center, and then we have this opportunity to talk about like the possibilities of what happened if you can use this for different exploration, no? So what about like these effects about being in isolation for long-term periods, no? You have like different kind of situations and effects that can happen with this, and how we can deal with them. So we decided that we wanted to create these simulations, these situations in which you can have this intimacy with your family, these like moments of love and caring with your loved ones. And then we wanted to see if actually this can help you to have a better mental health actually in these cases of isolation. So this was the beginning of a mission, and this multi-sensory inbuilt or intimate social support system in which we wanted to address the these issues. So what we do is that we created these experiences in which we went to record with the families of these students that were like actually students to be astronauts or working in the space industry. And then they took this during a month in this MDRS mission. There was basically a simulation of a habitat in Mars in which they were like simulating, of course, during 1 month in the desert of Utah in the United States. In these habitats, they did these experiments in which they got to see themselves somehow. I will explain you. If you have questions, please let me know. We can talk about this. But more or less, the premise was that they see as if they were like have been in a space. They received this message from their families back in Earth, and then they can just basically teletransport to Earth, to an avatar in Earth, in the Earth. So they got to see their friends, and their friends they are going to tell you, "Oh, we miss you. We are missing you. We love you. We are very proud of you." And these beautiful things that maybe your friends and your family can tell you, and we have this amazing response for participants, and it was a very, very beautiful experiences. So now we're just trying to do is to go into the next stage of the experiment and see if it actually at some point can be viable to have this kind of experiences in actual real space. So little by little, we are in this collaboration. And then I wanted to mention that the facilitators, like for instance, in the machine to be another, they tell us like, okay, but the machine are you guys, because you see the machine is not a device. It's kind of a methodology. It's just basically a teamwork, a team of people. So often when we go to festivals, we see each other like hugging a lot, saying "I love you," and then just basically being like very good friends. And people notice this. So I guess that's something that I wanted to say as well. Okay, I'm going to change a bit though, because then what we started to figure out is like, okay, there is applications on some more, even more funny things. So everything started with just this very silly experiment about two people dancing with each other. And it looks like this. I love it. Like, chicken dance. So you will maybe asking, this was addressed actually like, okay, what can happen if you can actually start to address public spaces and basically made use of the public space, because usually you have these XR experiences that often not now even little by little, even less, I mean, but now, but before it was just always inside. Anyway, but the inside is something. As you see, basically this she's very charismatic, and she basically, without talking, she guides you to the movement. So she kind of like guides you, okay, this is the thing that you have to do. Now we're going to move this hand, and now we're going to look at the legs. Nice. Okay, we don't have the chicken dance, but you have an idea about the correspondence, how the thing that was happening. Yeah. So this evolved into this. This is If Dance is an Unplaceable Place, 2019. We developed this beautiful, amazing project that basically is a recopilation of everything that I have been talking about, like how we begin and how we ended up doing this experience. This version actually then evolved to If 3, and If 3 was more deep use of the technology. But I wanted to show you just before I end about this research. Sorry, 1 second. Actually, how this performance, when you have this share of this sense of sharedness, of actually participating about your you're touching, the presence, the having this multisensory feedback, but just done not just by machines, but because someone actually touching you, actually gets to get you deeper on the experience and actually get you deep, like more emotional on the experience. So, for instance, let me see around here because I wanted to show you. We have a moment in which you invite people from the public. This is Shift3, this is the evolution of the piece that you just saw. So we invite people from the public, as you see here, to help another people of the public that are having the VR headset. So this is an experience that is just not for the spectators, but also for the users, but also for a secondary kind of spectators and users at the same time, that they are invited to come into the stage. So If3 is about this. It's about this hybridation of love and connection and dance. And always I say dance is the ultimate empathy machine, because actually you don't need technology, to talk about all of this. So I also encourage people to not use technology somehow. But anyway, aside from that, it was a beautiful experience in which you get to integrate all of the technology, the AR, the VR, the motion capture, the the haptic body ownership illusions, and so on. And of course, we ended up having this exploration of, as you see, Margherita. She's a Italian dancer living in France. She is really energetic, and since she actually feels the presence, feels the energy of the people. And I guess my point here is a lot of what we do, I recommend as well, is actually to have this exploration of your own magic and trying to feel the things that you do. And actually, sometimes it's the drive on our work to connect. And then when she picks the people from the public, she actually really on purpose feels the energy, and then she picks them. And sometimes that leads to a different crazy or not experience, because you have to deal with a lot of chaos. So actually all of these projects are kind of work in progress somehow, because it's always in evolution, always exploring different possibilities of the user experience, So actually taking this outside is difficult, because if there is a sunny day, the sun would heal the lenses, and then it would destroy the glasses, it would destroy the pixels. So you see that there is like dark shadow, and then at some point there is light. So it was a crazy day for us, because if we have more sun, we cannot do the experience. So this is the kind of challenges that we love to take sometimes to push the boundaries of the experience. Yeah, so I will come back. Oh, I can leave this for a second, and I come back because I wanted to just to tell you a little bit about the micro gestures, about when we do these performances, even the process of co-creation. You have to be very sensitive, empathic. I don't know if it's the word, but sometimes the little things, the beauty is in the details, no? So as long as you focus on that, try to put some energy. That's what I call the magic. Think about experiences that people receive if you're trying to design or to work with this kind of XR experiences, is to think about what is happening outside you, what is the rituals. Of course, dance is somehow the thing that it has been impacted me the most is the possibilities of music and dance. So playing with this has been a blessing. I feel very grateful to have the opportunity to have been doing this during the years. And an experiment. I mean, this is just basically the starting point. So you have to have a lot of fun while you do things. So that's my little grain of, I don't know, sharing of my experience. Thank you everyone. I guess I hope it was interesting for you, as was for me. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Danny. it was really super inspiring because your work is not focused only in one kind of like artistic practice, but yes, it's using the medium of virtual reality, but to embrace different kind, from the social part, from dance, from the empathy, emotion, sexual part, we can say. So it's really a broad vision of how we can implement the virtual reality in different aspects of our society. And it's also how we can maintain, let's say, the human part that is related to this kind of machine, no? And so thank you so much. And I saw that there are some question. I don't know if you want that I read it or you want to read it. How you prefer to do?
Okay, let me see if I can check some. Thanks everyone for the good energy. If you see some, please tell me as well, Alicia, please. Okay. Angela is asking also a question. Yes. Switch files. I don't know what's problem. Switch files very strange.
Maybe
Okay, yeah, it's just, yeah, please tell me, Alessia, because yeah, I was just regarding this comment from Angela. Yeah, it's first, there is always no plan with it, and all the things that we do, we try to do with care and love. Sometimes we're very naive and innocent on what would be the process, but that's the magic of art, no? And with the art, you can approach these experiences sometimes with no pretension about that it could be helpful or not for someone or some issue, but we end up always having these very, very, very amazing enlightening experiences. So please, if you're welcome to talk and to have more questions, and we are open always for having maybe open to a collaboration, something.
And also there is a Gabriella that is say, I find it a beautiful and useful way to use. This was more I really love it. In the analysis of Palestinian people. Okay, this is more related to Sabio. How we can get access to all this study, please? Maybe.
Yeah, Angela. Yeah, in the web of BeAnotherLab.org, you have our contact, and then you have a little bit of a review of what we did. It's basically we are not in this scientific approach. Some of us have been doing, not me, but some of the group, like some PhD and deeper research about the possibilities of the use of this in order to create empathic related behaviors and also some applications. So we are not properly doing science in that way, but we know people that do, mostly in psychological research. Okay. About the pain, Karen asked about somatic behavior. Yes, it's crazy. We did this experiment in the past about chronic pain, about the possibilities, and then we just actually was just Discovery Channel. It's some weird video. People that came from United States, they did this video. And we put your hand in some cold pressure technique, I guess it was. So you put your hand in ice. At some point, you get hurt by it. You have to take out your hand out of the ice because you get this pain. And the way to doing this experiment is that we put like in front of a white wall, then we put you in the pain. And then with no VR headset, with no experience, and then you say you last, I don't know, 2 minutes before you get a lot of pain in your hand. And we did this experience, and we did it multiple times with our researcher as well. We should have these embodied virtual, let's say, narratives, embodied narratives. And then people started to be a lot of time, 3 minutes, 3.5. I don't remember, but at some point we have to take the hand out of the people because then they will have like real damage or something. So yeah, it was something very interesting about conic brain applications. I think there is a lot of research about the use of VR around. Also, please welcome to. I don't have the documents here about it, but I know that there is research done about it. But it was with our project, with our system, it was a question that was still unanswered. We know that it has a lot of potential, but we didn't have necessarily done it with this. But then, yes, there is a lot of VR experiments in hospitals actually dealing with pain. So yeah, very interesting. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for everything.